Hi, hi, I'm so excited to have Dr. Marisol here today to talk about castor oil, the benefits for hair, really the truth about castor oil, because it's great for hair health, but there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of bad castor oil products, and there's different ways to use it where it's beneficial or not. So Marisol's the expert. She created this amazing product that I use, and we're going to jump right in. So welcome.
Awesome, Julie. Thank you so much for having me. I just love busting the myths all about castor oil and really getting down to the nitty-gritty of how amazingly beneficial this oil can be for beauty, and specifically when it comes to the healthy looking hair.
Right, right. So uh first of all, you have a really nice system where you don't just put it on your hair, you have this wrap
Yes,
that makes it really penetrate the hair, and you suggest to put it on the root of the hair and the ends. So will
exactly.
you dive into that more and
Sure,
talk
sure.
about the
So
different types?
So when it comes to castor oil is beneficial for the hair because of its many functions. So number one, castor and before I even get into what it does, let me tell you my story. Because when I was younger and in my 20s, I could not grow my hair past a certain length. So basically here my hair was stuck. Now I cut it and keep it short by choice, but before I could never actually even grow it long. And I was always wondering, like, what was the problem with my hair, the strength, what was the issue? But my hair just wasn't healthy, and it was mainly due to the follicle. I was dealing with things like dandruff. And then when I got introduced to castor oil for my hair, that changed my life with everything having to do my hair, because I started doing castor oil hair wraps on weekly. And what I would do is I would basically place it in the root and I would put it in the tips. And then I had created a little contraption for the hair that all you need to do is basically flip your head over. You stuff your hair into the wrap, like so. Pull it nice and snug. And then you actually wear that as a wrap. So I'm going to wear it while we talk. So then that way you guys can get a good idea of what's happening with this. The reason why you just don't only want to put the castor oil on your hair and just let it soak is that castor oil really benefits from when we actually like pack it and add natural heat to it. So this happens to be a almost impermeable barrier that won't get things dirty, that people can easily put the castor oil on their roots and on their tips, roll their hair up into this, and basically get the benefits for the hair. Castor oil, let's go through the benefits, because the benefits are everything when it comes to castor oil. And this is what I love about castor oil, is that I'm always learning more about castor oil, but I've been able to sum up its main benefits in 5 points. So number one, it's a natural anti-inflammatory, very similar to fish oils. If anyone has ever taken fish oils, it works along the same mechanism of actions as fish oils. Number two, it's very rich in antioxidants. And this is very, very important when it comes to the hair, because antioxidants are going to help with growth of hair. And it's not only growth, but more like improving the natural, healthy looking appearance of hair. And the antioxidants that are found within castor oil include vitamin E. We've even got nitric oxide promotion. Nitric oxide is amazing because nitric oxide in itself is an anti-aging molecule, and nitric oxide helps to vasodilate. So basically helps bring circulation up to the root of the hair, nourishing it. And also, after that, nitric oxide can help to be an antioxidant in the hair follicle as well. So it doesn't only open up the blood vessels and bring all the blood flowing, but it also serves as an antioxidant.
Right. So
Quercetin,
it also is nourishing the scalp, because
yeah,
if the scalp's not healthy, the hair is not going to be able to grow very well.
100 million
And back
percent.
to the anti-inflammatories, it's also, and you'll probably get into this, but it's also right because not only do you have the omegas, but you have some good omega 6s, I think 7s, and even some omega
There's
9s in there.
There's 9, omega-6,
Yeah.
omega-9. There's all of, like in castor oil, there's ricinoleic acid is the main molecule. That molecule basically looks like a prostaglandin. So the end result of what you get when you take a fish oil. Omega-6 is also found in castor oil, and omega-9, like of olive oil. So you'll see those change in less amount. Like there's only about 10% shared between oleic acid and linoleic acid, but they're still within castor oil nonetheless. So it's a beautiful all around essential fatty acid that nourishes the hair. And plus there's this natural anti-inflammatory effect. On top of that, castor oil helps to balance microbiome. Very important when it comes to the scalp, because as we know, there can be invasive yeasts that grow on the scalp and create things like dandruff. Malacia, as an example, is one of those yeasts that, is known to, procreate on the scalp and create the appearance of dandruff. And when you run your fingers through your hair, the white flakes show up on your shoulders. That's an unhealthy microbiome on the scalp. So that's where castor oil also helps. So again, people who have dandruff can apply castor oil simply to the scalp, and that helps over time to reduce the amount of disbalance that there is in the microbiome on the scalp. And then finally, castor oil's claim to fame is that it also helps to move smooth muscle. And smooth muscle is the walls of the blood vessels as well as lymphatic systems. So as we said, we've got nourishing nutrients in castor oil that, we need to get them there. So through the blood vessels, we want blood vessels to have better movement, but we also want to eliminate what might be garbage in the hair and affecting the hair negatively. And that's the smooth muscles of the lymphatic system. So with the castor oil, we can also support the smooth muscle movement of the lymphatic vessels, so it can drain any toxins that might be at the hair level. And then the one cool thing about castor oil that just makes all of those benefits work better is that castor oil is one of the only oils that can go deep under the dermis, which means it doesn't just stay on the top layer of skin, it actually goes deep into the dermis. So that's a big win for castor oil, because that means all those nutrients, the anti-inflammatory effect, the microbiome balancing effect, as well as the ability to move the smooth muscle, all of that can work better because it goes deeper into the tissues. So castor oil is excellent when it comes to improving the natural, healthy looking appearance of the hair. And if that's one of your goals, starting with a weekly routine of castor oil hair wrap is awesome. But like everything, you really just can't go and treat topically. You also have to treat the body. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And even though there is now a newly discovered scalp hair follicle microbiome, it's still from the inside out. So
Right.
I love what you're going to say next.
Yeah, it was true, because if you really want to, if you got to treat the inside, it's inside out, right? Inside out always demonstrates like what your inside is doing, what your outside appearance is going to be like. So, and the same goes for the hair. So you can apply all the castor oil that you want to, but you need to also address working the body internally. Now, before we even get there, I think it might be important for us to describe the difference between black Jamaican castor oil or black castor oil and golden oil, and what are the places and spaces that you would be using that. So golden castor oil is predominantly going to be used when it comes to the hair for those people who find themselves on the Fitzpatrick scale. So that's a skin tone scale, anywhere between 1 and 3. So they're lighter skin toned, they have less melanin. If you're on the Fitzpatrick skin scale of 4 to 5, which is more like Hispanics, Indians, so brown colored, black colored African Americans, you find yourself on the Fitzpatrick skin scale on a 4 or a 5. So you've got more melanin in your skin, and typically your hair will probably be more kinky, curly, or coily, right? In the Fitzpatrick scale, 1 to 3, typically the hair is more smooth, a softer wave. It might be curly, but you don't often see that kinky, coily, right? Which is very, very unique to like a high melanin hair. So the black castor oil, which you have there, and you can lift up and show the audience, the black castor oil, this castor oil is really, really great for people who, again, find themselves with that darker color skin and that kinky, coily, curly hair. And you use this instead of the golden oil because this is more alkaline because it is burnt. So it's not a better oil than the golden oil. It's just a different oil. So it's burnt, and the burnt aspect of it creates ashes, and that makes the oil more alkaline. And the alkaline environment is better with a high melanin skin scalp because it happens to balance out into a balanced level the pH of the scalp. So this is one of the reasons why I use this oil for those who have higher melanin. If you've got less melanin and you've got more wavy, straight type hair, you're going to be using the golden oil, which you have there too. So they're going to be using the golden oil, which will be the key to exactly, yeah, the organic golden oil. So that's what we use for everything else in the body, including anyone who's using eyebrows or eyelashes. It's always going to be the golden oil. The only time it's different is for that color of skin, stage 4 or 5, or kinky, coily, curly hair. Then use the black one in your hair. Cool.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about your brush too?
Yeah. So the brush, we just use that as a way to be able to get, so after you apply castor oil into your roots or into the tips of your hair, you just take that brush and then you use it to make sure that you can get the castor oil all through the hair. Really, it's very sparse. With castor oil and hair, it's less is more. You want to make sure it's always less, because if you use too much oil, you can get into a problem called felting of your hair. And felting of your hair is like when you're getting almost like dreadlocks in your hair from excessive amount of usage of castor oil. And that's really when you're soaking your hair with castor oil. Don't do that. Put a little bit in your roots and a little bit on your tips and you're good to go. Less is more. And then wrap it up with this awesome hair wrap and wear this for an hour. And it's going to basically help all the oil absorb into the tissues, into the root follicle. It's going to help nourish, and it's also going to help drain via the lymphatic system. And so then that'll help you to have better appearance of natural looking, healthier hair. Cool. So inside out, right?
Right.
Inside, you got to treat the inside. When it comes to problems with hair, I think, Julie, you were telling me that there's 4 reasons people have hair loss. Can you share that with the people?
Right. Well, there's over 50 causes, but I put them into 4 functional categories. And that's digestive, where you're not absorbing your nutrients per se, or just not digesting well. Inflammatory, hormonal, and stress induced. So those 4.
Yeah. And so these 4 are super important because, well, we know, number one, we know stress is a causative factor of all disease, right? Stress, and that disease could be a hormonal condition, an immune condition, or a nervous system condition. We know that the sequelae, like the next step of stress, is inflammation in the system, right? And we also know that, when there's stress and inflammation, hormones are off, the body is off, like the gut is off, the whole system is not working well. So what we've got to do is we've got to go and look at the gut in order to have healthier looking hair. We have to go inside out. So using a castor oil liver pack over the liver at night before bed, wearing it for at least 1 hour, it looks a little bit like this. Everyone can see it. Yeah, exactly. The castor oil liver pack. What you do is you apply about a tablespoon of oil, 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil there, or you can do this. Check this out. So we've got a roller here, which is really, really easy to do. This is what I have been loving lately. And so I wore my t-shirt and little yoga pants so I could demonstrate for you how it works. So this is the roller. So all you need to do is basically roll the oil like such. Now, castor oil stains, so don't get your shirt all on it because you want to really be careful. You want to avoid that. So you can roll it like that. And then you take your pack, you place it on there. This feels so good, by the way. And you literally wrap it as such 1 time and twice. Perfect. So if you can see, I'm all wrapped up. My pack is on. And it's super, super comfortable. And I'm just going to put my t-shirt on top and I'm going to wear my pack right now. Right.
It is super comfortable. And I wore it the first time to bed. And my husband's like, are you seriously going to wear that to bed? And I said, yeah. And he's like, okay, does it smell? And I said, no. And he's fine with it.
I love it. Well, me and my husband wear it as well too to bed because we know that it's really, really good for our health, right? We like when you wear a castor oil liver pack, it accomplishes a couple of things. The most important thing is that a castor oil pack shifts your body into the relaxed state. When you shift your body into the relaxed state, then your body can naturally do what it's meant to do, which is liver detox, lymphatic drain, and colon cleanse. Those are the three most important functions of your body. When you take things in, you have to be able to digest them, absorb them, but then you absolutely need to be able to process them properly and eliminate them. And that's where detox, drainage, and cleansing comes into play. And so that's just a vital fact. And I remember my mother, when I was a young kid, she always used to say, better out than in. And she was so right, because it's all about our ability to eliminate out that which does not serve us. Okay. So it's like super, super key. So with a castor oil liver pack, we want to make it a regular routine, wearing it at least as often as possible, ideally nightly, and you wear it for an hour up until overnight, ideally overnight, because the more face time that you have with castor oil, meaning the more you have it on your body, the better that it's going to be for its effective, obviously, like anything, like if you're taking the right dosage of a supplement, you're going to have better effectiveness if you take a smaller dose of the supplement. So what it helps with is balancing of your microbiome, improving your gut health. It also helps with that optimizing liver detox, so then that way the junk can come out of your body, and of course moving the bowels. And when people do a castor oil liver pack, what they say they benefit, the most amount of testimonials on our website, this is what they always say: I poop better, I sleep better, and I feel better hormonally. So those are three metrics that are key importance of having good, healthy looking hair. Because if you're pooping better, it means toxic load is coming out of your system. If you're sleeping better, you're able to detoxify, drain, and cleanse well, because, well, your body detoxes while you sleep. That's the time to do it. And, as we age, moving into perimenopause and menopause, we're dealing with the loss of a period. And when you lose your period, you don't detox or cleanse as much as you used to. And that's why you get things like hot flushes and night sweats. So for perimenopause and menopause, castor oil packs are ideal, and especially ideal for that woman who's starting to lose her hair, because that's a common time of life when women start to lose their hair. I'm sure that's been your experience, Julie?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it also goes back to digestive, because when we do absorb our nutrients, they're going to go to our vital organs first and hair last. So using a castor oil pack, not only for your liver, for your gut, you can also use it on your thyroid, can really be a game changer.
Yeah.
And I've heard you talk before, Marisol, about how people are taking a ton of supplements and they're not absorbing them. And I get a lot of women that come to me and they don't even know why they're taking handfuls of supplements. And even the hair industry now is getting into making all these supplements, and they're a complete waste of money until you get to the root cause, before I
Exactly.
just talked about, to get those nutrients absorbing, to get that stress maintained, so that
Yeah.
you don't have chronic inflammation and hormonal imbalances, because there's no way you can optimize health or even grow hair if that's not accomplished. And I just love what you've created here.
Thank you
And
so much.
it goes back to ancient times. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Cleopatra used it, and
Hippocrates.
Ayurvedic medicine, and
Yeah, Pliny the Elder. I mean, they all used it, but it comes down to such simple things. When you wear a castor oil pack, it turns on your relaxed state. It naturally boosts the love and connection hormone, oxytocin. It moving you into the relaxed state, the rest and digest state, automatically closes up any leaky gut junctions or leaky gut that you may have. So, like when you can understand that if your body can shift more into the relaxed state and can get retrained into be going into the relaxed state, well, then you're only going to feel better from it afterwards. So and that's why also too, like regular practice of the castor oil pack is key, because you got to do it more than just once. If you're just doing it once in a while, yeah, that's great, but you're not going to get the long-term benefits you're looking for. You're really looking to retrain the nervous system. So then that way you have those periods, because a healthy system has different periods, has periods of stressed, relaxed, like a nice little wave. And that's how ideally we are flowing. But the problem with our society right now, and why we're seeing increasing rates of loss of hair, male pattern baldness in women and in men, like we're just getting all of these different hair problems, is because we're constantly living in a state of stress. So of course, all of us are going to lose our hair unless we do something to actively shift our bodies. And supplements are not going to shift shift you into the relaxed state. Supplements can't do that. You do need to take supplements with your castor oil pack, keep doing your routines and protocols from your practitioners. And then, but what the castor oil pack will do is it's going to help all of those things just work better, which is awesome. Because if you can get better benefit from your hundreds of dollars that you're spending on supplements, like why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Right? Like it just makes sense. And for me, like I just make it part of my routine. So Sundays is like my beautification day. So I do my hair wrap on Sundays. I do like a castor oil face wash. I do a castor oil face scrub. I do a fat castor oil face mask. And I do that every single Sunday. And, you know, like I'm working on a preventative protocol because I'm headed there. I'm perimenopausal age category now that, you know, I want to keep my hormones healthy as long as I possibly can so that my hair stays healthy looking, my skin stays healthier looking, my bones stay healthier. You know, that's my goal right now is how can I age as gracefully as possible. Right. And I think castor oil is a true partner in that journey.
Sure. Right. It's not the end all. It's definitely using it with, like you said, supplements, eating well, lifestyle, you know, changes and optimization. But let's talk about your recipe too, that you have for the hair health with the 4 essential oils.
Yeah. So really so this recipe is the one that I've used, but honestly, if someone is used to working with their essential oils, they can go crazy and use whatever they would love. One of my favorites for the hair for sure, I think in any formula for hair, you've got to absolutely have rosemary. I love that that's first. Rosemary is key because rosemary, number one, has been shown it has rosmarinic acid, and that's really, really great, especially in cases of like Hashimoto's thyroiditis, to block antibodies that may be negatively affecting and killing the hair follicle. So that's why rosemary is that's why you'll notice rosemary is in all hair formulas, because really it should be. After that, lavender, it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, so balancing for the microbiome. That's why we love it. And it also helps like promote growth of the cells of the scalp. And it overall reduces stress of the hair follicle. So that's awesome. Peppermint, it's cooling, tingling sensation, enhances circulation to the area, and it helps with the release of excess histamine. Histamine is a natural substance of our body, but it could be damaging to the hair follicle, so we don't want it to get out of control. So it'll help with naturally releasing and eliminating the histamine and to reduce inflammation. Lemongrass, also antibacterial. It's really, really great and well known to help with the problems with Malacia furfurea, which is the yeast on the scalp. So that's a key classic essential oil to be used with it. And then clary sage. Sage, I think, is really important, especially the older you are and the more you're moving towards menopause, because sage it's more of a menopausal herb. It's an older, wiser woman herb. So that's why I add that into protocols for hair. And then there's extras you can add in, either cedarwood, which is if you have like really, really greasy hair, and ylang for those who have dry scalp. So it just depends on which kind of scalp you have. Cedarwood, more greasy. Ylang, it takes you forever. Like you can go like a whole week without ever even needing to wash your hair. So the recipe is super, super simple. You just, take all those 5 essential oils, choose between one of them, and you combine it with castor oil. Simple. And you've got the 3 milliliters of rosemary, 2 of lavender, 1 of peppermint, 1 of lemongrass, 3 mLs of clary sage, and then cedarwood and ylang, whichever one you would love. And then you mix that with 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of organic castor oil. And then you mix them all together, and that's what you apply to the root of the scalp of the hair, as well as to the end follicle. And it's simple. It's really, really easy. And this is something that I use. And honestly, like I use that sometimes, but more than not, I often just use like castor oil on its own. So you can do this, or you can optimize it with essential oils. If you have all these essential oils at home, I'd recommend it to do it, because it's easy. It's already there, right? And each of these herbs have benefits in their own right for hair health. But it all goes back down to what you said, Julie, about the 4 reasons for hair loss: hormonal, stress-induced, inflammatory, and then gut digestion based, right? So, and all of these herbs and essential oils all work in those 4 categories. So the approach that you're doing with hair health with a recipe like this is it's multifactorial and multifaceted to deal with the problem. So even if maybe you don't even know the root cause of what your hair loss problem is, this is a way to just start taking action without knowing exactly what the problem is.
Right. And then getting a good quality castor
Oil.
oil, like
Yeah.
your company, Queen of Thrones, that's organic, that's in a glass bottle,
Bottle.
dark
Yeah.
glass bottle.
Yeah.
We were talking before we got on about how Amazon and some other companies are coming out with some copycats, and
Yeah.
they
You
think,
have to be very careful when shopping on Amazon. Like if you take a peek at our bottle, like this here, this is our new bottle. And check this out, how close to our new bottle this is, right? Look at that. Yeah, let me show you. Look at how close to our new bottle it is. Like organic, they spell the word gluten wrong. Oh, if you could put the label in front, Julie, just put the label so they can actually see the label words. Yeah, see golden. They put, this is a Combi-Cat castor oil bottle, and worst thing is this is like, I smell it and it smells like turpentine. It smells like rancid oil, like bad oil. So if you are not, you've got to absolutely trust the company that you're working with castor oil. We've been doing this. We've been testing all the different oils on castor oil on Amazon, and it's the same thing. Buyer beware. Like people are putting things on their label that are not true, but they're castor oil. Half the time they don't even have castor oil in the bottle. It's just some kind of random oil that's probably super pennies to the gallon. And at the end of the day, they don't care. But for me, like castor oil is all we do. Castor oil and castor oil packs. It's my specialty. I love it. I think it's one of the most healing modalities and nurturing self-care. It's the best self-care practices people could have. And you're looking for, again, like you said, glass bottle, organic. Then it can either be cold pressed or expeller pressed. At Queen of the Thrones, depending on how the oil tests, we'll go for the best tested oil, because we're looking for specific categories of the oil, like iodine composition, does it have any heavy metals? If either or is like toxic or is missing some of the key components, we won't use it. So right now we're bottling expeller pressed. Our next batch is going to be cold pressed, but we change it depending on what we're finding on the marketplace at the time, because we want to deliver the very, very best value. So, and cold expeller press is similar to cold press. Cold press uses no heat, where expeller press uses just a little bit of heat. But castor oil is heat resistant. It can tolerate degrees up to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. And so expeller pressing really only brings it up to 180 Fahrenheit and max 210. So you've got a lot of leeway, and it's safe. It's a safe, and it maintains the stability of the oil. One thing that I think is really important to note with castor oil, especially with people who have hair loss due to Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, or hyperactive thyroid gland, or Graves' disease, is that castor oil is a biological dosed source of iodine, which means it's a biological compatible micro unit dose of iodine, which people, when they're using castor oil packs on their liver or in their hair or on their thyroid, they're getting a tiny micro dose of iodine, biologically compatible with what the level of iodine that they should have in their body. So then it's good. It will replace an iodine supplement. You can easily, check with your doctor first. Of course, we don't do anything without checking with your doctor. But in some cases, it can replace iodine supplementation because it's a biological dose that your body actually needs. So that I find is awesome, because, hair loss, we see a huge correlation between thyroid problems and hair loss. Right.
you can see this on the screen, right? Your bottle.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely.
And I also didn't mention in the beginning, but Marisol is a doctor. She's a naturopathic doctor in Canada.
Yeah. So I'm no longer in practice right now. I've decided to go full-fledged in helping the world embrace castor oil and castor oil packs into their home beauty care and self-care cabinets, which I do believe, castor oil bottle has a royal place there. And so, that's kind of my mission right now. My goal has been in the last years to change sick care to self-care, right? Like, how can we now start to take care of ourselves, so then that way we are feeling better, healthier, and happier. So this is our castor oil hair growth kit. It no longer comes with a pick, however, it comes with a brush. This kit is quite nice. We also do now, and probably moving forward, this kit is for a limited time available. Moving forward, we're going to just have the hair wrap available on its own for people, and then you can buy the castor oil separately. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how to work with castor oil packs for the hair and for the body.
Let's talk about also why your wraps are so quality, the cotton versus a lot of wraps out there are not using this quality cotton or
Yeah.
plastic, which is even
Yeah, yeah. So
even
this is
worse.
a very, very special wrap. And this wrap actually, I would take it off. The inside of it is actually made with organic cotton flannel. So it's the same cotton flannel that we're using for our castor oil packs for our liver. It's all made of the same material. So you can see on the inside, there's organic cotton flannel. And then, ooh, my hair went crazy. And then on the outside, it is a polypropylene barrier. So then that way there is less mess if you're going to like lie down on your couch or lie down. It's not 100% impermeable. It's possible that castor oil might get in different places, but it's a good way to, it maintains the heat in the hair and it keeps the heat where it needs to be, which is at the root of the hair, so that the castor oil can continue to permeate. And my hair is a disaster after doing it, but that's kind of what your hair actually looks like when you take the thing off, is that it's a little bit all over the place. But it is, and I think I got a little bit of oil because this is my pack, my hair mask pack, so it's got a little bit of oil in it, residue in it still. But it's such a wonderful, wonderful pack, and it's simple to do, and it keeps the hair, the hot air in. And it's kind of like doing, like I used to do when I was a kid, VO5 hot air hair oil treatments. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I did
I
those
would do
too.
them. Yeah, well, this is the version. This is how you do it with castor oil. Put it on the roots, put it on the tips, wrap your hair up in the wrap, and wear it for an hour, and you're good to go. And do that weekly, bi-weekly if you have a lot of hair loss, and or if you're really wanting to speed up the improvement of healthy looking hair, then do it bi-weekly rather than once a week.
Okay. So someone like myself that has fine hair, when I did it, I put very little on just
Very
because I
little.
do have such fine hair. So someone else that has thicker hair,
You use a little bit more.
coarser
Yeah.
hair, they can be more generous, right?
Exactly. Like for you, it would be a dime-sized dollop of castor oil you would probably use, but for someone with thicker or kinkier, coilier hair,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if they have black skin undertones, well, then they would be using black castor oil, and they would be probably using about a quarter sized dollop of castor oil. But less is more with castor oil. So everything is, and it's about experimenting with what works for you, right? So you got to try it out. You got to see how it works. If you do this pack, do it at night. And in the morning when you take your, or before you take a shower, right? Because in the morning before you go to work, you probably take a shower, and then that'll wash out all of the excess residue. But I typically do it at night, go to bed, but my sheets have castor oil all over them, but I don't mind that. But you probably don't want that. So if you want to avoid that, let's just shower then after you do the hair wrap.
Well,
Yeah.
how I do it is we have a sauna, so I'll take a sauna in the morning and then take a shower because I normally take showers at night. So when I
Nice.
do that, the hair wrap, I'll do it in the sauna for, I stay in there
Awesome.
about 40-45 minutes. So that
Awesome. Awesome.
because
Now, I would,
you're saying that it should be on at least a minimum of 30 minutes.
an
An
hour. Yeah.
hour. Okay.
Hour.
Okay.
The I wouldn't wear the wrap in the sauna because the outside shell is a plastic, but
Okay.
you can at least start in the sauna and put the oil in the tips, in the roots and in the tips.
Okay.
And then when you get out of this is a great way to do it. When you get out of the sauna, because then you're really hot, you get out of the sauna, then you can put the head wrap on and wear that for an hour. So that's a good way to do it if you want to do in the sauna. Or in the sauna, you just got to put the oil in the scalp and then the tips of the hair, and then you're good to go.
Perfect.
Cool. Very neat, eh? Yeah. So many ways, so many cool things with castor oil. I just love it.
Yeah. Do you want to, before we close out, is there anything else you want to say about hair health and castor oil, and then jumping into digestion and the microbiome of how castor oil can help that, and why that is just so paramount for hair health and hair growth?
Yeah. Well, your skin, hair, and nails are 100 million% dependent on the health of your gut. And without a healthy gut, a healthy liver, lymphatic system, or colon, there's no hope for your hair, and there's no hope for your skin, and there's no hope for the nails. And when you do castor oil packs, the shifting into the relaxed state, the ability for that to turn on your natural detox mechanisms, but to also support a healthy microbiome, right? And whether you're dealing with things like candida, yeast, or parasites, but also helping support less of a leaky gut. Like these are all key factors that when you have all of these things connected and working well together, well, then the state of health that you're in improves. And that's the thing. That's the bottom line with it, is that castor oil packs are excellent to work with it as a self-care practice that you do regularly, because they help everything that you do work better. Your supplements are going to absorb better, your food is going to absorb better, everything is going to function and work better with a castor oil pack. So you know, and don't be like me, like it took me like 15 years to finally decide to do a castor oil pack after being told to do it forever. But I thought it was woo woo. It sounded woo woo. And I was like, I'm not doing that. How could, like, you know, pouring oil on a piece of cotton cloth and putting it on your liver actually do something? Well, you know, the proof is in the pudding. On our website, the biggest testimony says it's a game changer. And everyone says, I poop better, I sleep better, I feel better. So if you can get those markers better in your life, the rest is to follow. Like your hormonal health will help to balance. Your immune system could balance faster. Your nervous system can balance as well. So it's one of those practices that once you start doing it, once you see the evidence, you want to be doing it regularly. And if you do a castor oil pack, I encourage you to start with the liver pack first, to do it like for 7 days straight and see how you respond to it. You should have those markers, something improve, some sleeping better, pooping better, feeling better. If you don't, it's a sign of dehydration. So then it's important to look at your water and look at your mineral and electrolyte balance, because that's going to need to be adjusted, because the castor oil pack can shift your body into the relaxed state. It can turn on liver detox, lymphatic drainage, and colon cleansing. But what it can't do is what water and electrolytes do, which is bind toxins and move them out of the body. So that's a really, really key sign. And that's, in a nutshell, how castor oil packs work systemically to help with hair and help the hair be better.
Absolutely. I mean, when you buy this, which you should, like Marisol said, you start with the liver pack.
Yeah.
It's not just topical. I mean, my followers know that that's not how you grow your hair, is by putting serums and things on it. This can just enhance it. I mean, with all the 5 reasons that Marisol, that you started with, those are great topically, but you got to get your gut in gear. Your gut needs to be healthy to get to the root cause of why you're losing hair in the first place. So this is just such a nice compliment to everything else you may be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's simple to do. And now it's easy to do with the Queen of the Thrones packs. So I think that's awesome too. So it's a no-brainer at this point. Now it's just about getting it into your regular routine and scheduling it in, like just doing it like 2 minutes before bed, put your pack on. That's it. That's all it takes. It's so fast. I love it. Like every night, here I am rolling the roller on my belly and then putting the pack on my belly. And I do that every night. It's super fast. It's easy, right? And if it's easy, it's doable.
It feels good too. It
It
really
does
is
feel good.
relaxing.
Yeah, that's what I love the most about it. Oh, thanks so much, Julie, for having me. This is very, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to mention, being that you're in Canada, so the Canadians listening, you can easily get this.
Yep.
Whereas it's hard to get you supplements in general up
I
there.
know, in Canada, it's so true. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually a Canadian company and an American company. So we're both American and Canadian, which is
Okay.
awesome. So we distribute to Canada and the US, and soon we shall be distributing into England and Australia and all over the world. So yeah, if people want to get access to castor oil packs, just check out our website. And I think you'll put a link at the bottom of the show, Julie. Yeah. And and you know, it's just a great tool. My encouragement to people is really just to talk to your practitioner, ask them about castor oil packs, and get the ball rolling, and work with your doctor to see how amazing these packs are for, you know, feeling better and your wellness overall.
No side effects.
No, and the only people, one thing to say is the only people who can't use castor oil packs or
Pregnant.
castor oil is if you're pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just make sure, or if you have an open wound, don't put castor oil directly on an open wound. Those are the 2 scenarios. But otherwise, it's good for kids. It's good for men. It's good for women. Like, this hair wrap isn't only for women. It's great for men too. It's great for elderly. So, you know, going along with what your goals are for your health and your wellness, I think castor oil packs are a no-brainer to add into that protocol.
Yeah. And then also not using it outside, not that you would, but
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I wouldn't sunbathe with castor oil. Like, I would post after sun care with castor oil, 100%. That works really, really well, actually. Lots of times I've had burns and stuff, and it's really helped me to like feel better after a burn.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for diving deep into all the benefits of castor oil for health and hair. It's so exciting. So
Awesome.
exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Um,
much, Julie. Yeah. And I hope your audience really loves it. And I hope that they learned something new that inspires them to take the leap of faith into the castor oil pack journey.
right. And you can also find it on my website under favorites, my favorites page. You can find Queen of Thrones castor oil. You can order there. I also have a blog I've written about it. It's in the blog. So we'll pass on this recording so you can watch it over and over, and you'll be able to find Marisol. Where's the best place? queenofthrones.com, or where's the best
Yeah,
place?
queenofthethrones.com. And on Instagram, you can follow me personally at Be Well Queen. That's a great place. I speak a lot about castor oil, especially if you're a practitioner on that page. It's all about towards the practitioner. So yeah, that's where they can find me. They can also find the company at Queen of the Thrones on Instagram. Those are probably our two most active social media accounts is Instagram. Perfect. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank
Great.
you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Soon.